Have you ever felt the eerie sensation of being watched, even when you're completely alone? On a freezing winter night, Raavi discovered that some things in the fog are not meant to be seen. The village was silent, blanketed in snow. The cold had driven everyone indoors, but Raavi needed to reach the nearby town to deliver an urgent message. His usual route through the main road was blocked due to the heavy snowfall, leaving him no choice but to take the forest path. The villagers often spoke of strange occurrences in the forest during foggy nights, but Raavi dismissed them as mere superstitions. The forest loomed ahead, dark and foreboding. The fog was unnaturally thick, and the dim light from Raavi's lantern barely cut through the murk. Each step crunched the snow beneath his feet, and the only sound accompanying him was the occasional rustle of wind through the bare branches. A few minutes into the walk, he noticed faint footsteps behind him. At first, he thought it might be an echo of his own, but when he stopped, the footsteps continued for a moment before falling silent. A chill unrelated to the weather ran through him. Shaking off the unease, he quickened his pace. The deeper he ventured, the stranger the fog became. It seemed to move, swirling in patterns that defied nature. Shadows flickered at the edge of his vision, vanishing the moment he tried to focus on them. His heartbeat quickened as an oppressive silence fell over the forest. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Then came the whisper. "Don't leave. Stay. You'll never come back." The voice was soft, almost soothing, yet filled with an unnatural weight that made Raavi's knees weak. He spun around, holding the lantern high, but saw nothing except the swirling fog. His breaths came in short, panicked gasps, each exhalation forming clouds in the icy air. Desperation took hold, and Raavi began to run. The footsteps behind him grew louder, matching his frantic pace. He dared not look back, fearing what he might see. The forest seemed endless, the trees twisting and closing in around him. His lantern flickered, and for a moment he was plunged into darkness. When the light returned, he froze. Standing just a few feet ahead was a figure. It was pale and featureless, its outline blurred by the fog. Though it had no eyes, Raavi felt its gaze piercing into him, rooting him to the spot. The figure raised a hand, skeletal and white, and pointed directly at him. A surge of terror broke Raavi's paralysis, and he bolted in the opposite direction. He stumbled and fell multiple times, the cold biting into his hands and knees, but he didn't stop. The whispering followed him, growing louder, more insistent. Finally, the trees thinned, and he burst out of the forest, collapsing onto the snow-covered road. Gasping for breath, he glanced back, but the forest was silent and still. The fog lingered at the edge, as if waiting for him to return. When Raavi reached home, his mother was waiting by the fire, her expression a mix of relief and fear. She helped him inside, noticing the terror in his eyes. "You took the forest path, didn't you?" she asked softly. Raavi nodded, too shaken to speak. "I warned you," she said, her voice trembling. "The fog, it's not just mist, it hides them. They've been there for as long as anyone can remember, waiting for those who stray too far." From that night on, Raavi avoided the forest, no matter how urgent his journey. Yet on foggy winter nights, as he sat by the warmth of the fire, he would sometimes hear faint footsteps outside his window, a chilling reminder of what lurked in the dark. Next time you find yourself in a thick fog, ask yourself, is it just the weather or something more? If this story thrilled or scared you, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more terrifying tales. Who knows, the next story might just be about you.